From pearls to purpose, transforming tragedy into triumph. Welcome, fellow seekers of inspiration and change. Today, we're diving deep into a story that will challenge your perceptions, tug at your heartstrings, and quite possibly change the way you view adversity forever. I'm thrilled to share with you the extraordinary journey of DeAnna Heard, a woman whose resilience and determination have not only transformed her own life, but are now rippling out to touch countless others. DeAnna's story is not just a tale of personal triumph, it's a beacon of hope, a masterclass in human resilience, and a powerful reminder of the impact one person can have on the world. Her journey from devastating loss to becoming a catalyst for change in community policing and mental health awareness is nothing short of remarkable. But before we dive in, let me tell you why DeAnna's story matters to each and every one of us. Imagine, if you will, a life turned upside down in an instant. One moment you're living what seems like a picture perfect life. 15 years of marriage, two beautiful children, a sense of security and belonging. Then, in the blink of an eye, it all changes. Your spouse is gone, and suddenly you're a single parent facing a future that looks nothing like the one you had planned. This was DeAnna's reality, a pivotal moment that could have broken her spirit. But instead, it became the catalyst for an extraordinary transformation. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's terrible. But what does it have to do with me? Well, buckle up, because DeAnna's journey is about to show us all what's possible when we refuse to let life's curveballs define us. DeAnna's story is a testament to the incredible strength we can find within ourselves when faced with life's most daunting challenges. Through faith, perseverance, and intentional actions toward success, she not only survived but thrived, reshaping her future and that of her children. But here's the kicker: DeAnna didn't stop at personal triumph. Oh no, she took her hard won wisdom and decided to change the world. Now, I can almost hear the skeptics among you. Change the world? Come on, that's a bit much, isn't it? Well, let me tell you, by the end of this talk, you might just be reconsidering what's possible in your own life. DeAnna's path led her to a career in community policing, a field where she could make a tangible difference in people's lives. And if that wasn't enough to make you question what you're doing with your life, she went on to found National Wear Your Pearls Day, a holiday dedicated to unmasking the stigma of depression and anxiety. Talk about turning personal pain into public purpose. As I delve deeper into DeAnna's story, I was struck by three key themes that I believe are crucial for anyone looking to overcome adversity and create meaningful change in their lives and communities. And trust me, by the time we're done here, you'll be itching to make some changes of your own. First up, let's talk about resilience and perseverance. Now, I know these words get thrown around a lot like confetti at a New Year's Eve party, but DeAnna's journey from being a married woman to a single parent and then pursuing a career in community policing is a powerful illustration of what these qualities really look like in action. It's easy to talk about resilience when life's going smoothly, isn't it? We all like to think we bounce back from adversity like a rubber ball, but living it, that's a whole different ballgame. DeAnna's story shows us that no matter what life throws at you, and let's face it, sometimes life's got one heck of an arm, staying focused on your goals and moving forward is not just possible, it's transformative. I'm reminded of a quote by the legendary Maya Angelou. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. Doesn't that just hit you right in the feels? DeAnna's life embodies this sentiment perfectly. Now, I want you to take a moment. Close your eyes if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery. Think about the challenges you faced in your own life. Maybe you've lost a job, ended a relationship, or faced a health crisis. In those moments, it can feel like the world is crumbling around you, can it? Like you're standing in the middle of a storm and every gust of wind is threatening to knock you off your feet. But here's the thing, and this is where DeAnna's story really packs a punch. These moments, as painful as they are, can be the soil from which our greatest strengths grow. They're the fire that forges our steel, the pressure that creates diamonds. Cliche, maybe, but cliches become cliches for a reason, folks. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the second key theme, the importance of community policing. This isn't just a job for DeAnna, It's a calling, a way to make a real difference in people's lives. And let me tell you, it's not all donuts and traffic tickets. Community policing is about more than enforcing laws. It's about building trust, understanding needs, and creating safer, more harmonious neighborhoods. It's about seeing the humanity in every interaction, about understanding that true safety comes not from force, but from mutual respect and understanding. To really drive this point home, let me share a story that resonates deeply with DeAnna's work. Enter DeAnna Heard, the Executive Vice President for Operations at the Center for Policing Equity. Now, if that title doesn't impress you, wait till you hear what she's accomplished. Carruthers has had a distinguished career in public service, navigating various roles and responsibilities while maintaining a laser focus on community engagement and equity. She served in strategic leadership positions, such as Chief Equity and Diversity Officer for Tompkins County, and has worked extensively in community policing initiatives. But here's where it gets really interesting. Carruthers didn't just stumble into this field. She armed herself with knowledge, earning a Master of Public Administration and pursuing doctoral studies in educational leadership. Talk about commitment to the cause. Her work has led to improved community relations and more effective policing strategies. She's received recognition for her efforts, including the 2016 Wichita Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Award, and has volunteered for numerous community organizations. But the real impact, her work has transformed the way police departments interact with their communities, leading to better outcomes for both. Now, I can see some of you shifting uncomfortably in your seats. Maybe you're thinking about your own community, about the relationship between law enforcement and residents. Is there trust, understanding, or is there tension and mistrust? It's a tough topic, and I know. But DeAnna's work and the work of people like DeAnna Heard shows us that there's a better way, a way that benefits everyone involved. This brings us to our third key theme, and hold on to your hats because this one's a doozy, breaking stigmas, particularly around mental health. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mental health? I thought we were talking about policing and overcoming adversity. Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because this is where DeAnna's story takes an unexpected and powerful turn. Remember National Wear Your Pearls Day I mentioned earlier? That's DeAnna's brainchild, born on December 15th. It's a powerful initiative to unmask the stigma of depression and anxiety. After suffering in silence for years, DeAnna chose to use her experience to help others, to show that it's okay to talk about mental health, to seek help, and to support one another. Now, let's be real for a second. Mental health is still a touchy subject for many of us. We're more comfortable talking about our physical ailments than admitting we're struggling mentally or emotionally. But here's the kicker. By staying silent, we're not just hurting ourselves, we're perpetuating a cycle that keeps others suffering in silence too. To really drive this point home, let me share another inspiring story. Meet DeAnna Vanini, a Temple University criminal justice major who aspires to join the Temple University Police Department. Now, you might be thinking, what does this have to do with mental health? Well, hang on to your seats because this is where it gets interesting. Vanini's journey is particularly poignant because she's following in her father's footsteps. He's been a police officer for nearly 17 years. Now, imagine the pressure of living up to that legacy, the stress of balancing academic studies with the demands of preparing for a career in law enforcement. It's enough to make anyone's mental health take a hit. But here's where Vanini's story intersects beautifully with DeAnna's message. By working as a dispatcher and security officer while studying, Vanini is gaining valuable experience and insight into the field. She's not just pursuing a career, she's continuing a family legacy of service. And in doing so, she's breaking down the tough exterior often associated with law enforcement, showing that it's okay to be human, to have struggles, to seek support. What strikes me about Vanini's story is the importance of family support and the appeal of community policing for those who want to make a difference. It's a reminder that our career choices can be deeply personal, driven by our values and the examples set by those we admire. But it's also a powerful illustration of how breaking stigmas, whether around mental health or the human side of law enforcement, can create ripples of positive change that extend far beyond ourselves. These stories, DeAnna's, Carruthers, and Vanini's, all point to a larger truth. Our individual actions, driven by passion and purpose, can create waves of positive change that extend far beyond ourselves. It's like throwing a pebble into a pond. You might think it's just a small splash, but those ripples keep going, touching shores you can't even see. So, what does all of this mean for you sitting there listening to this talk? How can you apply these lessons to your own life? Well, buckle up because I'm about to challenge you to think differently and act boldly. First, I want you to reflect on your own resilience. Think about a time when you faced a significant challenge. How did you overcome it? What strengths did you discover within yourself? Remember, resilience isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. It's about looking adversity in the eye and saying, "Nice try, but I'm not done yet." Now, here's where it gets interesting. I want you to think about how you can build on that resilience. What challenge are you facing right now that seems insurmountable? How can you apply the lessons from your past triumphs to overcome this obstacle? Remember, every setback is setting you up for a comeback. So, what's your comeback going to look like? Second, consider your role in your community. You don't have to be a police officer to practice the principles of community policing. How can you build stronger relationships with your neighbors? How can you contribute to creating a safer, more harmonious environment where you live? Maybe it's as simple as organizing a neighborhood watch program, or perhaps it's about reaching out to that neighbor you've never spoken to and starting a conversation. It could be volunteering at a local community center or participating in town hall meetings. Whatever it is, I want you to commit to one action right now that will help build bridges in your community. Third, and this is a big one, folks, think about the stigmas that exist in your own life or community. Maybe it's around mental health, like in DeAnna's case, or perhaps it's something else entirely. What small step can you take today to challenge those stigmas, to create a more open and accepting environment? It could be as simple as sharing your own story of struggle and triumph. Or maybe it's about educating yourself on a topic you've been hesitant to explore. Perhaps it's about standing up for someone who's being marginalized or discriminated against. Whatever it is, I want you to commit to breaking down at least one stigma in your life or community. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This all sounds great, but I'm just one person. What difference can I really make? Well, let me tell you something. Every major change in history started with one person deciding to make a difference. Every movement, every revolution, every breakthrough began with a single action. Remember, change doesn't always have to be grand or sweeping. Sometimes the most powerful changes start small: a conversation with a neighbor, a decision to seek help, a choice to speak up instead of staying silent. It's these small actions compounded over time that create seismic shifts in our lives and communities. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought. DeAnna Heard's story is extraordinary, but the qualities that made her journey possible: resilience, community engagement, and the courage to break stigmas. These are qualities that exist within each of us. The question is, how will you use them? Will you let life's challenges defeat you, or will you use them as stepping stones to a greater purpose? Will you remain isolated, or will you reach out and build stronger communities? Will you accept stigmas as they are, or will you have the courage to challenge them? The choice, as always, is yours. But remember, just as DeAnna's choices created ripples of positive change, so too can yours. You have the power to transform not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. So here's my challenge to you. Take a moment right now to think about one small action you can take today that aligns with these principles. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend who's struggling, or volunteering in your community, or simply being more open about your own challenges. Whatever it is, commit to it, because that's how change begins: with one person making one choice, taking one action. And here's the exciting part: you never know where that one action might lead. DeAnna's decision to face her challenges head on led her to a career in community policing and the creation of a National Day of Awareness. DeAnna Carrither's commitment to equity and community engagement has transformed policing strategies across the country. DeAnna Vanini's choice to follow in her father's footsteps is shaping the future of law enforcement. What will your action lead to? What ripples will you create? What lives will you touch? The possibilities are endless, and they all start with you deciding to make a difference. As you leave here today, I want you to remember this: your story isn't over, it's still being written. And just like DeAnna Heard, you have the power to make it an inspiring one. You have the ability to turn your pearls of wisdom forged through adversity into a purpose that lights up the world. So go forth and be resilient. Build bridges in your community. Break down stigmas. And above all, remember that your actions, no matter how small they might seem, have the power to create profound change. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and inspiration. Now, it's your turn to take the stage. The world is waiting for your unique contribution. What will your story be? How will you transform your pearls into purpose? The pen is in your hand. It's time to write the next chapter. Remember, every day is an opportunity to wear your pearls, whether they're visible around your neck or hidden in your heart. Let them remind you of your strength, your resilience, and your power to make a difference. The world needs your light, your voice, your action. So shine bright, speak up, and step forward. Your time is now. Thank you.